Good morning, everybody. Tuesday. Do you have a good bank holiday? Epic, weren't it? Just weather. I love it. I love it. So, boot camps. You better get your sun cream on because boot camps are going to be freaking hot. So, June challenge as well. We've all got a June challenge going on. If you want to get involved with it, and that's anybody, let me know. I'll send you a photo. And basically it's got press ups, squats, lunges, sit ups, plank. See how many you can do in a 2-minute time, and then you get a 30-second break between. So if you want a copy of that, send me a DM and I'll send it you across. And then every morning on my live, you just post up how many you've done. And it's like challenging yourself and making yourself better just for June. So I wanted to talk about this morning. My friend, who I know, you always see the same faces in gym. And he's there every day, absolutely beasting himself. But he never seems to look any better. But then again, he never looks any worse. So anyway, I was talking to him because he never really changes. And he does a hell of a lot of work. So you always see these people. And I says to him, I says, what's happening? I says, he's an absolute machine. And he said, he actually goes to Chippy every day straight after the gym. And I nearly fell over. I'm like, what? Really? He's like, yeah. He said, I train so that I can eat chips every day. I think it's right funny. But it works for him. And he's happy doing it. I mean, I can't see he's going to feel great or whatever. But if he's happy, training every day and then smashing a chippy after, that's his thing. Morning, Vicky. Morning, Jem. If you're watching, say morning. If you're watching later, say #replay. So, yeah. So, like I said, he's busting a ball in gym. Really doing masses and masses of cardio, right? And he really pushes himself. And he never don't go for a day. Because he says if he misses a day, he ends up, end of that week, he's put weight on. And I said, what? I can't get it in my head why you'd do it. But obviously, he's really happy doing this. Because he repeats it day in, day out. He says, I sometimes get a cake and all. Gets this in a little bun just to reward himself. I was like, oh my God. But you never give somebody advice unless they ask for it. So I'll leave him to it. He's more than happy. But I just can't see it being that great. I won't really be happy smashing my body every day so that I could eat chips. But each to their own. Each to their own. So if you start day off, right, in a deficit, right, you're going to lose body fat. Regardless, right? Even if you miss gym one day or 2 days because your car broke down, because kids are playing up, because you work too late, or whatever happened, it don't matter. You're still going to lose weight at the end of that week, right? It is what it is. And that's why that's the beauty of it, innit? Because you don't have to be so strict, or you could have had a slightly higher calorie meal somewhere in week, and it's still, you've lost some weight. So it's a bonus. I'm not saying do that, but it's there. It's an option. So, anyway, I was asking him, and I just says to him, I says, you're here every day. I says, don't you want to make any progress? And he said, no, I'm just happy away doing what I'm doing. So I said, well, do you like cardio? He says, no. He says, to be fair, he says, don't like it at all. I'm like, so why are you doing it? And this is what I mean, guys, right? People have, and I totally get it, because there's a lot of misleading information all over the internet. So, if you don't enjoy doing something, don't do it. Change it to something else. Make it so, you honestly, do something you like to do. If you just like swimming, just go swimming. If you do like lifting weights, but you think cardio's going to lose your body fat faster, just do weights. Honestly, just forget everything else and make it as easy as, I'm just going to do what I enjoy. And I'm just going to stick to that, because then I'll just keep going and going and going because I enjoy doing it. It makes sense, doesn't it? Switch it up, change it around, get your mates involved. Do one of their routines, let them do one of your routines. That's what I tend to do. We always do a bit of a mix. So if I'm training with somebody, I've got an idea of what I'm doing. But every so often, I'll just be like, what are you doing? What are you doing today? I'll have a bit of that. I'll do a bit of that. I'll try something, because it'll be something new. I don't do every workout. Obviously, if I'm working a muscle group, I might only do 4 or 5 exercises. for that muscle or them surrounding muscles, that's all I'll do. I don't need to go mad. You don't need to go over the top me. You don't need to be in there an hour. You don't. Honestly, our gym slots are an hour and 15 minutes. And he spends an hour and 15 minutes on cardio. And he's first one in and last one out every day. But he gets chips. So, he gets chips. It's mad, isn't it? So, like I said, don't get me wrong. I, every so often, have a higher calorie meal. I do. Because I'm human. And I like to live. And I like to eat good food sometimes. I always eat good food, but I like to have a higher calorie meal sometimes. When I know I ain't got that amount of calories left, and I think, I'm just going to do it anyway. And I do it. But I wouldn't expect to make great progress that week. You know what I mean? I'm trying to build some muscle. I mean, my shoulder's got an injury, so I'm not really strong on my left side. So to be fair, for the last month, I've just been doing really light weights because I can't really do much more. But yeah, so eating an higher calorie meal every so often doesn't really make any difference. Makes no difference. I still look same. It is what it is. But I'm not having chips every day. I might need to take a leaf out of his book. That might be a thing. So, like I said, when I were in my fat loss mode and I were losing weight, I think I lost, it was about 20 kilogram altogether that I lost body fat. Thing I did, like every other weekend, I'd probably have a few vodka, lime and sodas. Not many, but I'd just have a few, just enjoy them. Because we were in the middle of a lockdown and it were absolutely sunny as out. That's not an excuse. That were my choice. That's what I did. So I didn't progress as quick as I could have, but I still progressed. Because week after, I'd hit it harder. And then I'd make up for it. And I was sort of like that. So I'd have one really good week. And then I'd have one week where I maintained, or I might have just lost a little bit. But every week I did lose something. And still, I think it were once a month, we had a takeaway. We weren't really a bad takeaway. It was like a Nando's thing or something similar to that. But it is what it is. You don't have to be ultimately mega strict. And if you fell off one weekend and you've had an absolute horrendous weekend, you've got absolutely blind and you've just stuffed and stuffed and stuffed food all day, forget about it. It's happened. Get back on and start making a difference. Because people are falling off and then just stop doing it and just don't carry on and think, I can't do it. When really, you started really well and you lost loads. And then you've just gone into this thing of, I just can't do it. When you've been doing it. It's crazy, but yeah. So like I said, one bad day, it doesn't undo everything. You might not see a loss for one bad day in a week. You might not see a loss that week. It is what it is. But get back on and make next week count and make next week better. And then week after that, we'll make a little bit better. And we'll just keep going like that. Round and round and round until we get where you want to be. It'll be a longer period of time. It is what it is. If you're finding yourself that you're having to, or you're feeling really hungry, or you're having cheat meals, because I hate the word cheat meal, it's just a high calorie meal. If you're finding yourself that you're struggling every week and you just can't maintain that amount of calories, you can't live off it, there's something wrong. Your calories are too low. Or you're not eating, but there's tricks around it. You might be, it's type of food you're eating. But let me know if you've got any problems or you're struggling with it, let me know. I'll help you, whatever it is. There's always something we can do. There's always a way we can get you to start losing weight again. There's always a way. We've just got to find it, trial it, and if you're happy with it, stick to it. If you're not, we change it. And if you're not happy a week after that, we change it again. But we never give up. We never fail. We just find a way of not to do it. So if you've tried losing weight and that didn't work, we try another way. At least we know not to carry on that way. You know what I mean? And then it just, honestly, everybody can do it. I don't care what background you're from. I don't care where you're from. I don't care what your exercise you like to do. As long as you're moving about, that's all that counts. So, boot camps this week, on tonight, 6:45, on Thursday, 6:45. We're doing a Saturday morning, 9 o'clock. If you want in, send me a message. I'll book your space. And, yeah, fun on the field. Right, see you tomorrow.